Oh, last tackle now for the Newcastle Knights. Robbie McCormick decides to go at his own, gives it to Matthew Johns, and that's another try to the Newcastle Knights, set up by the barnstorming runner Mark Sargent. Quick play the ball to Robbie McCormick. He had Matthew Johns in support, and the young 5'8" did the rest to give the Newcastle Knights their third try of the afternoon. And they've gained ascendancy in this particular match against the Gold Coast.
Yeah, this was the direct result of that Mark Sargent run. Robbie McCormack, a quick play of the ball. Matthew Johns just on the fringes of the ruck. Now, we've seen on 2 occasions now out of the 3 that the Knights have scored, and there's that big, strong run that I was talking about earlier. Watch this with Dale Shearer. The big, strong fend, and, you know, he is a handful. He's one of the most powerful runners of the football of the modern era. But we've seen the Knights come through the Gold Coast. They've only gone around them once when they scored on that last tackle in the first couple of moments, but the other tries like this have come through them. So Wally Lewis's and the Gold Coast must address the centre of the ruck in the defence.
Richard Jones.
Good play from Robbie McCormack. Took the option on his own. Matthew Johns right there, Johnny, on the spot. Good, strong, determined run charge again, and that's another 4.
Lays it back. Matthew Johns. Darts straight on. He's going to score under the post or alongside of the post. Matthew Johns. And this youngster has come into first grade. He's getting plenty of raps, and deservedly so. Now, that was just quick thinking from play the ball. He saw there wasn't any markers, and he said, well, I might as well score my second try of the afternoon.
Well, that's exactly right. You know, again, they've got no marker there for a start. Watch the centre of the ruck. He just beats that guy on the right foot step. The other players on the other side of the ruck were terribly dishonest. They haven't moved towards the football, and it's just happy days for Matthew Johns.
Look at this. Great run, great quick play the ball by Michael Hagan. We set everything up. Left foot, right foot step. He doesn't care. He's a great player, this kid, and that's an easy try to him.
From the head-on shot, Michael Hagan with a quick play of the ball. Matthew Johns, quick as a flash, saw there wasn't any markers. Big step off the right. Wayne Bartram, thanks for coming. That's the second time Wayne Bartram has been beaten all ends up, and Matthew Johns just far too much pace for the defence, and he scores adjacent to the post. And Adrian Branca will come in now to try and convert the try.
That's the second. Rodwell said, let's get wide. Johns throws the dummy. Matthews, that is. Newcastle leading 16-12.
Yeah, Brisbane couldn't hang on any longer. The pressure telling. And Newcastle just get the 4-point break now. Nice pass there. And a nice dummy sold. Of course, no defence out there.
Jamie Ainscough having a...
Johns, though, didn't face any resistance, wrapping up the 17-point win.
Plays the ball 42 metres out from the line. Through Matthew Johns to his brother Andrew. A second man play for Robbie O'Davis. David Smith was running as a decoy. Johns got the pass away. Godden turns it on. Andrew Johns supports. His brother Matthew is there. Kepnich is beaten. He'll go in and score. Matthew Johns. He gets the try for the Knights. A try they desperately needed. 6-4 now. That was a very good try by Newcastle.
Oh, superb play for the Knights. That's come out of nothing, really. The Gold Coast, no problems at all with their defensive line. Maybe the winger back a little bit too far here. See them popping the ball. Brad Godden there holding it up. Johns in support, a nice step, and then just too quick for Peter Gill, and he's run for the line. The Knights are back in business.
From the other angle, the evasive work of the Johns brothers laid on the try. Godden did well, and then another one of the Johns players, and then yet another. So they both handled twice at least. Matthew scores his third for the year.
Just like to see a little bit more depth in the Newcastle attack as the ball back inside to Harrigan and to Johns.
Andrew Johns is in some space, and away goes his brother. Matthew Johns scores. Harrigan was the man. He got a beautiful pass away, and Newcastle go under the crossbar and lead 10-0.
Great combination between the big men and the inside backs. See, Harrigan takes the inside pass from Matthew Johns, and the tackle low on Harrigan allowed him to get the football away. Andrew Johns backing up now. Matthew Johns had done a great job to stay alive, and he scores under the posts. Beautiful support play. Farah probably believes he should have gone high. Alexander missed a tackle. Matthew Johns backing up. Scores where you like them. Right under the black dot.
Plenty of
venom. Penner came up with a tackle. Grogan across to McCormack. Then on to Johns. Johns finds Ainscough. Ainscough trying to step field. He stood in the tackle back to Andrew Johns. Thought he had an unmarked man in Matthew Johns. Matthew Johns, though, fancy footwork. Oh, this is two great tries to Matthew Johns in this match. And that was just all class. Stood up his man and just left him for dead.
Well, he was unmarked as soon as he got rid of Will Robinson. The future is looking very, very bright for this kid. The Johns boys combining again. Look at the move. Push, bang, away he goes. And Matthew Johns. You would think that would wrap it up game-wise, but as Andrew has said, on a few occasions they need to win by more than 8. That gives them a lead of 16 with 2.5 to go. Can they hang on? Tension is building.
And that kick, strength in that one. If they in fact get the opportunity, they will. Across to Ainscough. He kicks for the corner. The chasers coming from Grogan and also Johns. And Matthew Johns, he got the ball down for the try. And Newcastle certainly make a bird of it. They're through to the Cup quarterfinals, 32-12.
A speculator here from Ainscough, and look at the chase by Jason Bell. Very ordinary. Matthew Johns had the head start. Well, he has scored plenty of tries in this tournament so far.
And 3 tries for the match for Matthew Johns, and that for the extra 2. And he's done that successfully. So 34-12, the full-time score. Newcastle, they have an appointment in the Cup quarterfinals tomorrow.
There's only 29 seconds left on the clock as Newcastle strive for the try. Matthew Johns gets it. Matthew Johns scores the try, taking him to 6 for the tournament.
He got the try, but he looks a bit disappointed, probably with their performance in this semi-final. You know, had they have gone through to the final, I would have named him as the player of the series. He still may win that award, but more than likely you might see one of the players from the actual final who will get that.
And the siren in the background, 28 points to 8 with the kick at goal unsuccessful. That is the final score. So Manly go on now.
Matthew Johns made his point. Newcastle back on the winners list, 19-12.
Now it's fed and won, and what are they going to do? They let 2 down.
Oh, he's gone for himself. He'll do it himself, Matthew. Oh, he is a little wizard. 28-0. He threw a dummy to one centre, a dummy to another, and then, well, he just robbed the chemist shop completely.
Yeah, sometimes silence is golden. Just we can just sit and watch this. It's just a freak. He's put on a try for Ainscough with the length of the field run. This time, wizardry with the football.
Cormac opts to go back to the right. Through Andrew Johns with Matthew now. He tries to step. He's into space. There's the try. Newcastle, the first opportunity to threaten North Sydney. And Matthew Johns has scored.
Great work there from the 5'8". Tremendous evasion. You mentioned the fact that Craig Wilson was slow up after a tackle earlier on. Unfortunately for Craig, he was the man that missed the tackle on the inside, fell off it. This young 5'8" from Newcastle showing just what great skill he's got. Tremendous on his feet. Did it all himself. Plenty of defenders in front of him. But that's where the attacking potency comes in this Newcastle side, the 6 and the 7.
Yeah, it's a real bonus for Newcastle. They're the sort of side that don't save anything early in the game. They're straight into their stride. They tried their plays. That ball.
The last, they're going for it. There goes the shot. It looks okay. The hand will go up. It does. Newcastle, they're in front.
Matty Johns getting deep behind the play of the ball. That's the beauty of having options. People were looking for Andrew Johns. It went back to Matthew. He struck it beautifully. Some good pressure coming through, but he was very deep and hit it sweetly.
And Newcastle still
Off the tackler, a player who will be wearing the black and white colours in 96 with Western Suburbs. Andrew Johns across to Ainscough. All the way on the outside, Matthew Johns steps inside, almost away. Now he is away. Over the 30-metre line, Newcastle will have their first try, and it's Matthew Johns who does the damage. Good try to the Newcastle Knights.
We talk a lot about the skills of these Johns boys. One thing that probably doesn't get mentioned often enough is the strength they have. They're not big men, but they're very strong. See here, John's able to spin out of the tackle. First time that the Novocastrians have been able to control possession within their first set of 6 to get try on the board, and the conversion attempt is successful.
Well, the Johns boys are crucial to Newcastle's chances in any competition that they...
Williams has taken the field for North Sydney, and what you'll find that North have done throughout this tournament is get Jason Taylor off the ground when the team does not have the football. A dummy thrown there, straight through.
Matthew Johns strolling the last 20 metres. No fullback, of course, in sevens, no sweeper. And once you've cracked that line, the job has been done.
The most dangerous man on the football field is the one who's got the ball in his hands. And Gary Larson just a little bit lazy on the inside. The dummy taken. Larson's head went back. He knew that he'd made a mistake. Great start for the Newcastle side.
And Peter, how much do you think Andrew Johns is going to benefit from the Kangaroo Tour, the World Cup last season? Looks like a lot more confident player already.
I think Newcastle are
from the try line again. And on to the left of the ground to come back onto the right. Matthew Johns is on. Fittler held by an ankle. Matthew goes through and goes all the way. Been there 5 seconds and gets a try. Matthew Johns.
Well, it's not Andrew Johns doing something special. It's this kid, Matthew. It's a Johnsathon out there. And it's almost a Newcastle-type move. The inside runner's a decoy. And the Fijian defence, it's there, but not effective enough. And Matty gets his first.
Well, you'll see 4 missed tackles in the one movement. The conversion, no problems.
Andrew Johns then throws the pass for Harrigan. Harrigan offloaded, now a chance for the Knights. Andrew Johns, they go for the line and get there. Cliff Lyons unsuccessful in holding up Matthew Johns, and Newcastle have their first 4-pointer.
Well, there's the first chip we've seen for a long time in the Manly defence. A good offload from Paul Harrigan. Give him the credit for this one. Hits the line hard and strong. The Johns boys, they put this on. Cliffy just hung off Matthew Johns for a fraction, and eventually Matthew Johns got the football down.
It was said in the last couple of weeks that Paul Harrigan looks to be a far better player with his new desire to offload there. And Andrew Johns, it was important that he did go to the line to keep Cliff Lyons back there. And just too much strength for Matthew Johns, who had the momentum. A little bit of a struggle to get the ball down.
Strong defence from this Manly centre, former All Black. Matthew Johns, the kick. The chase is there for Matthew Johns, and he scores. The 5'8" for Newcastle has got his second try, and that's one of the rare highlights in this match for the Novocastrians.
And as soon as Matthew Johns caught the football, he knew exactly what he was going to do with it. He'd had a look to see where the second line of defence was. This was the try that was ruled to have been nullified by Jim Sedaris. A line dropout resulted from that. Jamie Ainscough felt hard done by. They've got the try. A couple of rucks later, Matthew Ridge was over near the posts. Matthew Johns, downward pressure, beautiful individual play, caught the Manly side completely by surprise.
He's tried very hard today, Matthew Johns, in a badly beaten side. His brother trying to convert.
That's the kick from Andrew Johns. It is successful. So that is bright news. The points, 28-12, 4 minutes out from full time. Blocker in a moment. I think there's some bad news on Mark Glanville. Here's the effort of Matthew Johns again. No doubt he forced the ball. So a fair try. He's second for Matthew Johns. But Steve Roach, the story on Mark Glanville.
He can't. Now it's Matthew Johns. Matthew Johns is over. Matthew Johns has scored. But what a kick. What a kick he's left for his brother.
And what a finish to this game. Steve Trindle missed the tackle. Matthew Johns, he threw the dummy, couldn't believe that the hole opened up. He tripped over, it looked like he was going to try and improve the position, but in the end just had to scramble the football over the line. Falls down short. And now Andrew Johns, a kick here to even up proceedings with only minutes left.
Good to see Matthew Johns having a go on his own. Normally he'd set that up for someone else. He took full advantage of some slow defence on the inside, gets it there. But the play of the day was no doubt the Lee Jackson charge down and regather. that gave him the opportunity. Here's Johns now to try and level the scores.
Just over 3 minutes on the clock. Andrew Johns from 26 metres in, 20 metres out, strikes it, it's there! It's there, 14 points all! Oh, what a kick!
And that's
what a player!
Yeah, that's why we talk.
Ball for Matthew Johns. Johns! Matthew Johns! Plenty left in his tank, plenty left for the Newcastle Knights. They come up with another 4-pointer. The Knights, they're still alive in 96.
You see this so many times in rugby league. A team attacking for so long, desperate to score the Roosters here. The ball comes wide. Andrew Johns there, Johnny on the spot, picks up the ball. Just look at the speed he's got here and the strength to push off Matt Singh, one of the strongest players in the Roosters club. Walker and Rich Allen managed to pull him down. The ball then comes wide. His brother Matthew Johns, he's got the best footwork of any 5'8", I think, in the competition. Just goes wide there, he's just cut off both left and right feet. Manages to score under the post, and a killer blow there for the Roosters after attacking for so long. They just needed one of those tries really to get back in this game.
Well, Matthew Johns, doesn't he enjoy going across for his 4th try of the season? 24 years of age, the older brother of Andrew, obviously. He's had a very, very...
Matthew Gidley, this is the last play. It's with Matthew Johns. Tries the grubber kick through. Matthew Johns. Is that a try to the Newcastle 5-8? It is. Eddie Ward says 4 points to Newcastle. And emotionless, the look of Steve Bleakley, but now the concern is with Matthew Johns having forced the ball.
Yeah, it looks as though he's picked up an accidental head knock after putting the pressure down on the try. It was a great little kick. There wasn't much room. So often those kind of kicks, or kicks on the last tackle, are expected to go wide. I think that's where the Crushers thought so. Dave Watson was heading that way, and he was very deep in the in-goal area as well. Matthew Johns just gets cleaned up there by the Crushers player coming across to try and cover up. A little kick for himself, side steps through, and there he cleans up Jason Hudson. Fair collision there, but beautiful work. And the thing that has impressed me about Matthew Johns this afternoon, he hasn't tried to overplay his hand. No Andrew Johns in the side. You thought maybe he might try to take on too much responsibility, but he's let the ball go on many occasions. He's been very selective when he takes the football himself to the line.
33 metres from the line. Dinova, a kick, back and across.
Oh, it's a chance for Newcastle. He got a hand on it. Matthew Johns' appeal. Johns' appeal for a try. Now the referee has called timeout to consult the in-goal judge.
Newcastle kick the ball down with pressure.
Yep.
Johns will be given a try. Kelvin Jeffs points to the spot. Dinova's kick hit the upright. Johns put it on the boot and then puts a hand to it.
Very astute kick here from Leo Dinova. I don't think he aimed for the post, but what a result for him. That threw Jeff Tuvia. Matthew Johns put on a boot. It looked as though it was going to get away from him, but he reacted so quickly, despite being on the ground, or on his way to the ground, to reach out and get downward pressure.
Yes, the Knights are back into it. A great chase from Matthew Johns. A different kick from Dinova.
I'll tell you something. If he doesn't put a hand to it, there's a chance that he could have ruled a penalty try, at the very least a penalty.
Yeah, well, Jeff Tuvia's tackling him without the football. That's what you're alluding to.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, if you're going to penalise Adam Muir for what he did to Mark Carroll, it had to happen there.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns. Here goes the kick from Johns. Is it there? Matthew Johns has got it. Johns is successful. The field goal. The one-pointer. And Newcastle lead by 13 points to 12.
Well, have they put him away yet? You'd think a short kick off from North. It's a great little kick from Matthew Johns from 35 out right in front. They handle it well.
Did anything to spark Josh Stewart.
Well, the touch judge doesn't share that.
Oh, good ball.
Here's a good ball by Shields. Newcastle are targeting to the corner. Matthew Johns runs 40 metres and puts it down.
Well, Adam Muir and Mark Glanville might be gone from the back row, but Peter Shields has come into this game And he's come up with an absolutely superb around the corner pass to Matthew Johns. He's been given a good run by Malcolm, really. Spent a lot of game time out there after coming off the bench. Throws a little dummy, attracts a couple. Offloads beautifully to Matthew Johns. Jason Taylor in support. Matty Sears, well, he's nowhere to be found until very, very late. And Johns runs the 40 or 50 metres required to put on their first try.
Yeah, that defence from North Sydney out wide didn't come up in one line, very slow, and gave Shields the room there. Look, a beautiful pass from Peter Shields. And Matthew Johns, he looked around for support, didn't need it in the end. Just wondering how Josh Stewart feels now after giving away that penalty, which put Newcastle into a great field position.
And that's an illustration of where this Newcastle side are looking to attack. They went to Mark Soden and Ben Eichen in defence with Peter Shields. And when we have a look at the tackle count for the Bears, Ben Eichen is actually leading the count with 10 tackles. The only man. Matthew Johns, the one in position.
It's going to be now. He's taken the shot. Yes. He's got the shot. I think it's okay. Yes, it's a point. Newcastle's in front. Matthew Johns has landed the drop goal. 19 to 18. 6.5 to go.
Well, he took the responsibility. Doesn't matter if it was touched.
Shields. Handoff was great. Matthew Johns puts it over the line. Newcastle are in again. It's 19 to 10 now.
And that's why those players who are 6'5" and 16 stone like Peter Shields, that's why it's good to have them in your side. This is the original bust. Andrew Johns hasn't run much tonight, but he took them on, made the break. How to bomb a try. Look at this. Just had a draw and pass. He left it too late because Hughes would have been under the sticks, and from the ensuing penalty, the big man, Peter Shields, just simple draw and pass. A couple of players come into him, threatened by him, and then easy for Matthew Johns.
Yeah, Dennis Moran was on the outside. Somebody had to stop the football. Lovely offload from Peter Shields. I also give Danny Badiris a rap. When he tried to go over from dummy half, he attracted 4 or 5 Parramatta defenders. That thin...
Playing his second top-grade game for Newcastle. Called Robbie O'Davis back inside, so he's starting to gel as we watch Matthew Gidley get the arms free to Matthew Johns. No holding him out this time, and Matthew Johns gets the third try of the afternoon. Matthew Gidley, beautifully set up by that being held up in goal and getting the scrum feed. Matthew Johns scored.
Yeah, their maintenance of possession today has been fantastic as Newcastle go to 14-2. And Matthew Gidley, well, I'm sure we just saw Phil Gouldon's shot. This kid, Newcastle need to sign him up for a lifetime contract. He slides out and then the right foot step inside. And it's, yeah, Matthew Johns just trailing back on the inside. That's just out and out skill and class.
Certainly is. How would you like to be defending against this mob? They're a great attacking side. Great ball there again. As you said, fantastic with the football, this guy. Very big and strong. Just an easy offload back inside to Matthew Johns. That's a very simple try for Newcastle, and they're on the job today.
Here it is once again, Matthew Johns. They can't hold him out. Nigel Roy and Matty Sears over the top. But just going back as we watch Andrew Johns line up the kick, Neil.
Try. Andrew Johns grubbing it in. They'll get there. They're over. Matthews in. The Johns brothers have gone double whammy. Matthew off Andrew, and Newcastle are in.
And we've pointed out on many occasions that Newcastle have the best strike rate from the kick in scoring tries of any team in the competition. Andrew Johns going to the line, one line of defence. St George too tough for them to turn and chase. And Matthew Johns had the fly on Trent Barrett and races through to score a simple but an oh so important try. They had to be the next to score.
Yeah, they both had terrific games tonight, Andrew and Matthew Johns. And there's something special happening out there for them again. They're both geniuses, aren't they? Great players. And they've got the Knights back into the game. It's converted.
Yes, Andrew converts. 4 points the difference now.
They're fanned out. And Kamali across with Fittler. And long pass. Darren Smith steps inside away from Tallow and Lockyer. Here comes an Australian try to Matthew Johns. No doubt about it, there's some protesting from the Kiwis. But they worked it beautifully, the green and gold.
Yes, the referee not even going to the video referee. The ball was touched by a New Zealand player. So it was play on. We saw on the far side Nigel Vunganar come in field That gave the Australians a chance on the outside. It was set up by this wonderful run from Matt Rogers. Beat Robbie Paul, spun out a couple more tackles, took it to 5 metres out. Vella followed up with a fine charge. And then Laurie, the Australian backline, did the rest with a little bit of luck out wide, I suppose.
Yeah, that's right. You see Wagner there come in. He took the wrong man. Smith ended up with the ball. He got it off to Lockyer. And Lockyer just passes to Matthew Johns. But they always looked like they had numbers on the Kiwi side.
Let's just have a look out wide here to see if the New Zealanders do touch it. Darren Smith props back inside. May have got a little touch there from the New Zealanders, but it did go backwards anyway to Lockyer and Matty Johns.
Something here. It's now with Lamb. Beautiful ball. They're in again.
Yep.
That is Matthew Johns. That's another try for Wigan. And Brian Noble now cannot believe what he is seeing. The Wigan fight back is underway.
He can believe what he's seeing because he knows his side are not playing safety first. They were trying to rub noses into a side like Wigan you can't afford to. Beautiful play by Lamb. See how he just sucked in Henry Paul there. That was tremendous play by the scrum half. And the combination of clicks, they've waited a long time for this. Onto the football at pace. John, back. The Warriors are back.
Matthew Johns with the try, and this kick not only important in the context of the match, but for Andy Farrell, that takes him over 2,000 points now in his Wigan career. Only the second man to get over the 2,000-point barrier, Jim Sullivan ahead of him. But in terms of this match, the 2 points and this 4, even more important than that milestone.
But what a milestone for this fella here. I mentioned throughout the first half, it's taken him a long time to get into the swing of things there.
Lamb. And here now goes Newton. Newton dumps it over the top to Matthew Johns, and he will score another. It's all over for Ian Millwood and the champions now. He hasn't scored in 16, but Matthew Johns has just come up with the try that for me will take Wigan Warriors to Old Trafford next Saturday night on the Bradford Bulls.
Little doubt about it. An outstanding effort tonight. Slowly but surely, he's come back to his best. But what a game from Newton. He has just run riot from the dummy half position. It was a ploy that we perhaps were looking to see from Kieran Cunningham. That has failed to materialise, and Johns surely realises that he's on his way to his first Super League Grand Final. Newton the provider, yet again.
Well, on this night that Wigan has...
Campbell, oh, Preston gets it away, Matthew Johns celebrates his debut with the Sharks, but Preston Campbell opened them up. He might be targeted in defence, but I tell you what, when he's got the leather in his hands, he's causing trouble.
This is David Peachey at the back to get this movement started. You should never rush David Peachey. Great play there, great awareness to feel there was defence on top of him, and from there he was able to get the ball away. Midfielder Matthew Reek, who got their set of 6 activated and ends up in the Sharks scoring underneath the post with Matthew Johns.
And then all the great dummy half runners look for lazy or slow markers. Millard didn't react well at second marker. This was a great attempted tackle from Simmons. One-on-one, Preston Campbell will beat 9 out of 10 players, but also superb work from Matthew Johns to be backing up. Just thought he was going to go in under the post himself. And Matty Johns, who's always been very good in the support role, well, he'll be wrapped. Didn't have a good start to the game, got knocked out almost.
Tackle. Kamali with the kick towards the upright and hits the upright. Picked up on the half volley by Matthew Johns, and he scores the try, and that is the ball game. The Sharks have come from behind to beat the Panthers, who have been gallant in defeats.
the celebrations, and why wouldn't there be in the Sharks camp? They're very happy about the way that they've done it. You mentioned they were gallant in defeat. I've got to say, if you're getting beaten, you prefer to get beaten in other ways than this. Balls that bounce off thick padding on the goalposts, that is impossible to defend against. But I've got to say that there were a couple of players ready to dive on that ball once it went over the line. The only reason, though, that Penrith found themselves in that area of the game, in that area of the football field, I'm sorry, is because they came up with yet another error on.
Gallen feet it to Kamali, across the face of them to Bosnich, in behind them. They've come up with a mistake here. Matthew Johns, though, has claimed the try.
I wanted the ball ended up again on the line. He tackled short, and I want to see if he had a second go at it.
I thought, watching the play live, that perhaps Johns had knocked the ball on. He hit it at speed and got pretty close.
He had a second go at it or not.
And he's hung on to it here. There it is. I think he might be entitled to put the ball down there. His momentum was carrying him forward. Even though his arm had come in contact with the ground here, he was still being driven towards the try line, dragged there by Matthew Sears.
It's up to him, mate. It's up to him.
Well, does it get to the line? Okay. Certainly that's short as he goes towards the line, but that second point there, is that short of the line or is it on the line? The Sharks
from that angle, isn't it?
Okay.
The Sharks supporters think it's on the line.
Well, once again, video referee Phil Cooley under the spotlight here. We'll take a look at this. Couldn't really come up with a conclusive decision either way on that particular angle we saw just then. And it is a try.
He's right, boys.
He comes up with the green lights for Matthew Johns.
That's it, mate.
Well, this is the play they love to combine together with Kamali and Johns. The flat ball to the runner hitting the hole, and then Johns in support, the short pass. And if you hit the hole, they might hold you, but you can get your arms free, and then if you've got support player close by, it's extremely difficult to cope with.
Laurie, great work there by Dean Bosnich too, able to offload that ball to Matthew Johns running straight.
His style in the half-time break. Johns is over the line and got it down. Well, there's the answer to your question, Stello. They have been the next side to score. And there's a game of football here to be won for the Sydney side.
Yeah, they are up against a Wigan football team with injuries, and Matt Johns, he's getting across the line a bit this year. Already 3. And this is just nice footwork, stepping back inside Gordon Tallis. And then the referee in great position again as he takes Shane Webke and Michael DeVere over the line. They'll be disappointed, Brisbane, because they know that Matt Johns a lot of times will dummy or straighten and go himself. And that is what he has done to score this try.
And shades of yesteryear for Matty Johns. Loved to use that right foot step close to the line when playing for the Knights a few years ago. He lined up Tallis. He knew that Tallis would run to protect Berrigan on the edge of the ruck. Tallis likes to protect his smaller men in defence. Johns allowed him to float across field, beating with the right foot step, and burrowed in for a very...
Holding onto it, McKenna, Johns, off his left foot, off his right foot, and over the line. Matthew Johns persisting, refusing to take the tackle, and getting 4 points for the Sharks.
Well, they're inviting them back into the game, the Bulldogs. A couple of uncustomary errors from them in their own territory, and the Sharks have been good enough on this occasion to take advantage. Wonderful work here from Matthew Johns. In fact, he's their leading try scorer this year. This is his 6th for the season, and it is, as Ray pointed out, it's just perseverance, determination. Big left foot step, he's well known for that. There he shrugs off Patton, carries Trindle over. He did it all himself.
Yeah, got a little bit of time to himself with the football. Been a bit critical of the Sharks in recent times that Nick Graham and this man don't get enough time to play their own game. They get the ball late off Kamali. But on this occasion, first think with the football, he saw a couple of players in front of him, thought, well, I can beat them with footwork. Then it was sheer perseverance, and I think desperation. I think Matthew Johns understands that this team needed to be next to score. He's been able to produce it himself with a solo effort.
We have to say it again, a flat line again as they go right. Matthew Johns, long ball, and there's a good tackle. He stood though, McGoldrick for Matthew Johns. He sets sail and gets there. Well, he had an unhappy moment in the first half, Brian McGoldrick, but that time, despite a strong tackle from Talau, he's got the ball away and Matthew Johns gets the reward.
And Matthew Johns keeps his good strike rate of scoring tries intact for the year. Good work here. They go to the right-hand side. It's another big collision. They throw the ball and we freeze it there. McGoldrick is going to go into this man, and Matthew Johns, a very strong effort as play continues to get around and keep play alive. That's good work. I said he's a busy player, and that's what busy players do. They try and get to the football as often as possible. The run-around play was able to create the overlap. The winger out there had two men coming at him, and Johns was able to slide between both defenders.
Well, actually, Sterlo, the fact that the first pass from Johns was a high one, forcing his teammate to leap in the air, actually made the try. Had the pass been a good one, I've no doubt that the Bulldogs player gathers in ball and all, and there's no promotion of the football. The fact he jumped for the ball, he was able to get a leg into the opposition player, release the ball. Here's the ball, he'll leap for it. Now, leaping for it actually means he's able to fend off the defender with Talau with his leg. That gave him the opportunity to release the ball. Had the pass been good and on his chest, Talau makes...
Kamali goes to the short side to Matthew Johns. Johns trying to get his way over the line, got it down Matthew Johns. That's another Sharks try. They're having an absolute feeding picnic, the Sharks. Lead by 28-0 with a kick to
the try. Now Kamali, Johns, cut out ball. Johns will score. Peachy was the man in back play. I don't think that was an obstruction. They went for the wrong man. It was just a great pass, and Matthew Johns has scored the try, but may have paid the price with that left thigh heavily strapped. The Sharks have hit back 6-4.
Oh, good play once again. They know that the ball is going to go straight to Kamali, so they come off their line. This is the Roosters very, very quickly to try to put pressure. You see Brad Fittler come in, up and in defence, and put pressure on Haggerty. He had to come in, he missed the tackle, slipped over, and Johns, what a comeback.
The key to this one is Brad Fittler. You just saw him in the corner of the screen then. He made the wrong decision. There was just too many holes out wide, and Matty Johns, isn't he enjoying it? As we take another look at this, I think you'll see, here comes Fittler in now, there he goes. He takes out Peachy, leaves a gaping hole at the outside. Matthew Johns just takes the space, no one in front of him virtually, and that is it.
Just watch this when Phillips comes over, makes his tackle, brings his left leg up. Look at that, boom, down right in his thigh. No wonder he stayed down, Matthew Johns. It's heavily bandaged. I'll tell you what, they'll have to do some work on him to get him motivated and get him back in again. He's up, he's walking. I'll tell you, that was a very, very heavy knock to that leg. Phillips just putting that